Hey guys, I'm Ronit and welcome back to my channel, The Bunk Connection. Today I'll be doing the review of the film Logan. Yes guys, I watched it at the theaters a day ago and I absolutely loved it. It's officially my favorite superhero movie. Marvel has done it again. Until now there were a lot of movies on my list like Doctor Strange, Winter Soldier, and Deadpool, but this movie surpassed them all. And there are particular reasons that this movie is amazing, and I'm going to discuss it in the review. But before I get into this review, those guys who have not yet checked out the movie, I strongly recommend you guys to check the movie out at the theaters and then come to my channel and watch this review. Okay, because I will be discussing a lot of spoilers. I will try to keep this review as non-spoiler as possible, but maybe there are a lot of things we need to discuss. In order to discuss them, we need to get into the spoiler part too. This is statutory warning to all those people. Okay, so okay guys, and this is the first thing, and the second thing is, if you liked my review, my reactions, then please put a thumbs up on this video and comment down below as your suggestions or what you think about this video, and subscribe to my channel if you liked it. Please guys, this is the most important thing. Okay guys, I'll be starting with a review. I'll be breaking down this movie into some points, the points which I loved about this movie and the points which I didn't. So let's start with the points which I absolutely loved about this movie. The points, first point, the story. The story was emotionally very engaging. I know this is a story which is already discussed in the comic book Old Man Logan. This is taken from that story. It is based on that story, and but still, that story. It's really hard to present a story in a form of movie. Okay, and they did it. They did it so well. It touched my heart. The viewers really got engaged in the storyline. I was so much invested from the first frame to the last frame, okay, last bit, and it was really emotionally engaging. I loved the way they put the characters inside, and each and every character has had a soul. So yes, the story was really important in order to make this movie beautiful. So this was the first point. The story was beautiful. Okay, the story. Let me get a little bit into the story without getting into the spoiler part. The story starts with Logan getting older and weaker day by day. Okay, we see he is really going through a phase where he's losing all his powers. He no longer has the ability of healing himself. Okay, he has cuts and bruises all over his body. Okay, and he's not those are not healing. He is struggling to even take out his claws from his hands, which was really painful to see, painful to watch. And that shot of him sitting and cleaning his claws was absolutely stunning. I loved that shot. And also the shot where he's standing in front of the mirror and he's watching himself, he's seeing himself, and his whole body is filled with bruises and cuts. That shot was also very beautiful. Okay, and okay, I should not stray away from the points. Okay, the story. The story starts with Logan getting older. He no longer has powers. He's taking care of an ailing Professor X, who is also getting weaker day by day, and somehow his brain is now a weapon of mass destruction. Guys who have watched the movie will understand what I'm talking about, but who have not watched the movie, this is a spoiler alert. Okay, this is because his brain is responsible for destroying and wiping out the rest of the X-Men. Okay, so we get into that in the future because we see Logan standing in front of what is it? I'm forgetting about it. In front of the graveyard. Yes, that's the word. He's standing in front of the graveyard and he's drinking, and we see a lot of graves on the backside, and those are probably and definitely the graves of all the X-Men. Okay, and we don't know what happened there, how did they end up in graves, but later in the story we get to know that Professor X is responsible for the death of all those X-Men, all the mutants, and that is very disturbing and very painful for me. It was, and that is why Logan has run away with Professor X, and he's taking care of him so that he takes medicine on time, and so that his brain doesn't get affected again and doesn't become that weapon again. Okay, and they are living together in a abandoned mill, abandoned factory, and they are being helped by Caliban. Caliban is a character, is also a mutant. We get introduced to him for the first time. He's a mutant who has the power of tracking other mutants. He is the cerebro, you can say. He's like a walking, talking cerebro, and he has a problem of going out in the sunlight because he is like a vampire, basically, without fangs. But I loved his character though. He's the one who keeps Wolverine sane. You know, he's so frustrated with life. He doesn't want to fight anymore. He doesn't want to get into that phase where he needs to take out his claws and fight anymore. He just wants to lead a normal life and take care of Xavier. So he keeps him sane. He helps him, provides some useful suggestion and advice whenever needed. And I love the chemistry between these two characters. And then suddenly, what happens? He meets this woman, Mexican woman, who is on the run from some hooligans or some people, dangerous people who are trying to kill her and her daughter. Okay, so she's afraid. She requests Wolverine to help her out, and initially Wolverine refuses because he doesn't want to get into trouble. You know, no more trouble for him. He says that he's retired, but after some point he decides to finally help them out. And but before he could help them, the mother gets killed, and he turns back. But he sees that Laura is already there with Professor X, and Professor X tells him that I this was a mutant I was talking about, and he already knows about her. And then starts all the problem. The people from that institute, is this institute, an evil institute, who are making mutants. Okay, they are making mutants from the genes of already existing mutants and humans. They merge them, and they are making mutants in the form, just to send them to war. Okay, so yes, they are making dangerous mutants in the form of little kids. Okay, and Laura, the girl, is one of the mutants who is on the run. Okay, because she also wants to, live her life. So she finds Wolverine and Xavier, and that's when the story starts. People from the institute comes, and they want to, capture Laura along with Professor X and all the other mutants, but Logan doesn't let that happen. He runs away. There are a lot of action scenes there, and he runs away with Laura and Professor X, and they're on the run. And that whole journey is the story. Basically, the story how they run away and how Wolverine tries to, take her, the girl Laura, to North Dakota, to the border of North Dakota. Okay, because that is the place they would be safe, and there are other children too, like her. Okay, and that whole journey is basically the story of Logan. But that is the story which captivated me and that touched my heart, and it was emotionally engaging. This was the story part. Loved the story. Second point, the characters. Each and every character was so beautiful. I mean, so intricately designed that you cannot take your eyes from anyone. You cannot take your eyes off from anyone. You totally invest yourself on all these characters. You want to know their story, what happens to them. I was so interested in Caliban's story. I was so interested in knowing what really happened with Professor X. Why did he kill? What happened to his brain? And there was this particular scene where they're in a hotel, staying at the hotel, and these people from the institute attack them, and Professor X uses his brain to stop them, uses his powers, but it gets out of hand, and which results in paralysis of other human beings as well, the people present at the hotel, along with the people from that institute. That scene was brilliant, and it shows how much pain Professor X was going through and what kind of uh, amazing power he had. Okay, so that scene and every scene with Logan and Professor X in them, talking, having that usual banter was so beautiful, so funny, and so relatable. It was like seeing a son having conversation with his father, with his ailing father. Okay, I loved the character of Laura. She was just in every scene she was there. She stole the scene, and the scenes with Laura and Wolverine, Logan, were equally amazing. I loved the way she didn't say a word for half of the film, most of the film, but she said so much from with her eyes. I mean, she was grieving. She wants to know what the world looks like outside the facility where she was captured. She was kept as a prisoner, and she's dealing with these new feelings of fatherly love, or trusting humans and knowing what it feels to be like in the world. Okay, and she's a badass. I mean, the character is badass, and the girl who played her is a badass. I don't know the name of the character. I don't know who plays her, so I'm really sorry for that. But I'll definitely check it out. I actually memorized the name, but I forgot it at this moment. I don't remember her name, but she played it beautifully. Okay, so yes, the characters were the strong points. Even the characters of the scientist of that evil organization, and that guy with the machine arm. Okay, you must be thinking, I love the characters, but I don't remember their names. So yes, I watched it for one time only, and I'm not a big comic book geek, so I don't really know all the characters' names. So I need to watch the film again in order to remember and memorize the characters. This is just a quick review. You need to know that. Okay, so don't blame me and don't hate on me. Okay, the third thing. This is already getting long. The third thing which I loved was the acting. Every actor was amazing. I think the show stealer was definitely Logan. I mean, Hugh Jackman. I cannot call him Hugh Jackman anymore. He is like the walking, talking Logan. It will really hard for me to not watch him in any film. This is his last film, and he gave it his 200%. Whatever he did in the past films, he just surpassed all his acting bit in all the other superhero X-Men films. Okay, I think he did his best. He was in this film, he showed his vulnerable and emotional side, which I absolutely loved. It showed how he's getting older, he's getting tired, but he still wants to save his loved ones. He wants to save them in order to protect them. Okay, so that side of him was so beautiful. I loved his acting. Hugh Jackman just did an amazing job. If Oscars provided for all the superhero movies, he should have got an Oscar for this role. Okay, Patrick Stewart is as amazing as ever. He's getting old and cranky, and showed how old age can affect one's judgment. And he's funny, and his banter with Logan is amazing. I love the character of Caliban. I loved how soft spoken he is, and how always he helps out Logan, though he criticizes him a lot. And the character of Laura was amazing. I loved the way she didn't say a bit, but she conveyed so much with her eyes, and uh, the way she fought. I mean, God, the action was amazing. Anyways, those are the characters. I love the characters of also the scientist who was experimenting with the children, and that guy with the hand. Each and every character was awesome. Okay, this was the third point. Fourth point was the action. I loved the action. The action was just amazing. It was perfect. It's not more, not less. It was just perfect. Okay, I loved those action scenes when they first encountered Laura, the first scene where Laura, beat the shit out of those people from the organization, and it was amazing. Okay, it was Cody, it was action packed, and the action choreography was just perfect. And the action scenes involving all the other little kids, and the last climax scene where they come face to face with the organization people and they use their powers. I love watching mutants with their different powers, and they used it to their fullest, and I loved it. I loved the part where Logan, gets hand to hand with another mutant, and that's a spoiler though. I'm getting into the spoiler bit. So he fights another clone of him. Okay, he is scientifically made with adamantium steel by that scientist of the organization. They builds another Wolverine just like Logan, but he is just evil. Okay, and he is responsible for okay, Xavier's death. Okay, that portion where he got so mad and he gave it him his all, though he no longer had that ability to heal. Okay, so those scenes were just awesome. Okay, the action was perfect. That's the fourth point. And the fifth point was the emotional connect. I think every character and the story was so emotionally engaging. I got really invested. It really touched my heart, and I was just pulled. The moment it started, I was like, oh god, I'm going to cry. Okay. And the last scene where the climax, where finally we see Logan die, that was heart wrenching. I mean, I really welled up. Okay, I am an emotional person, and seeing one of my favorite characters, die and being his last film, the the moment I realized that, oh my god, I'm no longer will be seeing Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. It really struck me, and it got tears to my eyes. Even Patrick Stewart, when he died, I really felt really pained, and yes, it was really amazing. The climax was just outstanding. So these were the 5 points which I loved about the film. The point which I didn't love about the film was, are you kidding me? No, no points not to like about the film. The film was just amazing. There was no negative points, at least not for me. I'm a normal viewer, an audience. In my opinion, there were no negative points about this film. This film was just amazing and perfect, and it deserves 100% rating. Okay, for me, it was like 5 out of 5. Okay, so guys, this was my review of the film Logan. If you guys liked it, please put a thumbs up, comment down below, and please go and check out the movie and subscribe to my channel. Okay, if you guys really like my review, this is the most important thing. Watch the movie at the theaters. It's still playing and it's amazing, and I hope you guys like it as well. Okay, I'll be seeing you again, guys, and until then, ciao.